a pound town. Get it right now. If you don't know that bitch, you don't know nothing. You heard it. The dreadheads do it to me.
There's an interesting phrase going around these days. It's called black fatigue.
Black fatigue.
Black fatigue.
Black fatigue.
Black fatigue. If you haven't heard the term yet, you will soon. It's been gaining traction fast. Urban Dictionary defines it as the deep mental exhaustion from being forced to care about Black people and their actions 24/7. But more specifically, it's the growing sentiment felt across the board. People of every race, every background, even within the Black community itself, that we're fed up with being expected to tolerate ratchet, ghetto behavior, fed up with unprovoked acts of violence, fed up with being expected to bite your tongue when faced with some of the most toxic and disgusting attitudes imaginable. And that sentiment is only getting louder because what we're seeing in the world right now makes it impossible to ignore. And here's the problem. The word racism doesn't carry the same weight anymore. Not like it did. It used to mean something specific, something serious, heinous even. But now it's been thrown around so much that it's practically meaningless. I mean, nobody cares if you call them a racist anymore. I know I certainly don't. I'm sure I'll get at least one in the comments for the things I'm about to outline in this video. More power to you. I couldn't care less, to be quite honest with you. And why, you might ask? Because pattern recognition isn't racism. I know, crazy concept. And too many people are victims or have become victims of this psychological manipulation campaign that has been carried out by the mainstream media in recent years in an attempt to guilt trip everyone into believing they're a racist for simply making observations. They say things like, no, your eyes have indeed deceived you. Forget that you saw a Nissan Altima with one working taillight go flying down the shoulder of the highway at a high rate of speed during rush hour. Forget about the meltdown you witnessed in your local convenience store when a woman's EBT card was declined trying to buy Slim Jims and Gatorade, who then proceeded to trash the entire establishment beyond recognition, while others who conduct themselves just like her egg her on the whole time, right? Phones out, flash on, everybody's laughing. Yeah, forget all of that. Forget that you saw that. You didn't actually see that. And if you did, that makes you racist. You're falsely stereotyping an entire group of people. Every time you turn on the evening news and see another shooting, another robbery, another armed carjacking, another homicide, you can't help but notice 9 times out of 10, the accused always looks the same. And people are doing away with the constant narrative that these are merely undeserved stereotypes and labels by the mainstream media, the authorities, right? From the chaos of the BLM riots and the endless DEI initiatives shoved into corporate America, we've watched the word racist get weaponized. Today, just agreeing with the wrong person can have you branded a racist on the spot with a phone shoved in your face, ready to be blasted online. With no discussion, no nuance, no context, just a label stamped on your forehead. And because of that overuse, people stopped caring, much like myself. You can only cry wolf so many times before the village stops showing up. And right now, society has hit that point. The word that once carried real gravity is now background noise. It doesn't matter. And that's dangerous because when actual racism shows up, people are too numb to respond. We're too desensitized to it now. And as if that wasn't enough, let's talk about how this ghetto behavior, this ghetto mentality doesn't just exist. No, it gets celebrated. It gets rewarded. It's been normalized. Look at Black media, Black music, their corners of social platforms. It's nothing but ignorance and the glamorization of violence and ratchet behavior. You guys are literally raising criminals and hoes, perpetuating baby mama culture as if that's something to celebrate. And it's not just tolerated, it's promoted. You've got artists rewarded with fame and fortune for glorifying dysfunction and degenerate behavior. You've got clips of fights and chaos getting millions of views, personal property being destroyed, entire streets and intersections being shut down to these teen takeovers. Companies and influencers are literally cashing in on shock value, right? Like this one YouTuber who literally made a 20 versus 1, a pop the balloon-esque video. I'm sure you've seen these by now with Lil RT, an 11-year-old rapper. There is so much wrong with just that one statement. I mean, first of all, why are you rapping at 11 years old? And before you make any assumptions, no, his songs are not to help other children master their ABCs.
Bitch, I got a drink up on the shit, fit around the glare, hit him in the face, Bella Brown, he'll fucking bitch.
But you have this, what is essentially a dating show for kids.
What's your name? Amora. What's your favorite color? Blue.
Being created by a Black YouTuber who then pushes this to the Black community, and they think this is the funniest shit in the world. What are you doing? What are you guys doing? Do you not understand that the rest of us are collectively laughing at you? Or rolling our eyes as soon as the infamous bonnet crew walks in? Your ghetto behavior isn't cool. It's fucking annoying. And the craziest part is that this isn't seen as fringe anymore. It's not tucked away in some hidden corner of the internet. It's mainstream culture. Kids are now growing up thinking this is the standard. You have 9-year-olds running around in shiesties and breaking into cars, which is causing people outside of the community to start assuming this is what being Black means. And then the cycle continues because the worst stereotypes get reinforced while the real everyday reality felt by the rest of us gets buried. And that is when the fatigue sets in. I completely understand that it's not all Black people, but when things like this happen, it's usually a Black person. Do you get what I'm saying? Like with the Carmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf situation, extremely unfortunate. Here you have two teens who got into a very minor verbal altercation at a high school track meet. One approached the other saying, "Hey, you're in the wrong section," and for doing so was fatally stabbed in the heart. There seems to be this natural proclivity to impulsive violence, this collective disregard for human life that infects the ghetto Black community. Just look at Black on Black crime. And naturally, there was outrage over this. But what people found most disturbing was seeing how the Black community rallied behind the killer simply because he was Black. He took the life of another student on school grounds, and you had people posting on social media talking about, that's what he get. This what gonna happen if you keep messing with us Black folk. And people are tired of it. Even other Black people, because there's a difference between Black people and
nigga. See, it's a difference between niggas and Black people. You understand? And what it should be called is nigga fatigue.
Let's be for real. And it's not just about violence or bad attitudes. It's about watching destructive behavior get defended, get constantly excused and even get celebrated, okay? And that takes a toll on everyone. If this cycle keeps going, we all lose. Communities stay divided, stereotypes get stronger, and the voices of those who actually want better for themselves and for their families get drowned out by the loudest chaos in the room. And this isn't about tearing anyone down. It's about asking, how do we stop normalizing dysfunction? How do we separate Black identity from the worst caricatures of it? That's the question. That's the conversation nobody wants to have, but it's one we have to talk about. So in wanting to keep this brief, I want to hear from you. What are your thoughts? Have you seen this firsthand in your own community, in your workplace, your school even? Go ahead and drop your experience in the comments, because the more people talk about it openly, the closer we get to real solutions. Okay, and that's the goal here. If you were able to get something from this video, hit like, hit subscribe, share it with somebody who you think needs to hear it, because the conversation doesn't end here. As always, I appreciate you for tuning in. If you made it this far, I'm Wicks the Board. Y'all stay safe out there. Y'all stay safe out there.